Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft on AM 560. The Answer.
What have the children eaten today?
Solo tomatis con tortilla.
Only tomatoes with tortilla.
Are they still hungry?
Ahorita dice que no porque se calma ahorita.
Right now they are hungry. They want food and we don't have money enough to get to the whole week.
How does it make her feel when she can't feed her children?
Pues me siento muy triste.
It makes me feel sad. Sometimes I get in my room by myself and I cry. I wonder how can I make their life better and have more money in order to give them food. I don't want my sons and my daughters to suffer.
That's the work that Food for the Poor does to reach people that are in dire straits with suffering from life-threatening hunger and thirst. Our Food for the Poor campaign is nearing its completion, and we're about $10,000 away from our goal, which is just a few business benefactors, for example. The campaign ends this week, but we'll still take donations after, of course, because we want Food for the Poor to do the good work they do with as much support as we can give them. Again, I want to offer another thank you to all the business benefactors who have signed up so far. I mean, this is key. The donor leadership from the business community is what gets us to our goal and what allows Food for the Poor to do all of the life-saving work that they do. Dr. John Coyne of the Primary Veterinary Center, Suburban Welding and Steel, Kaluzny Brothers, America First Contracting, Nexus Employment, IDSupply.com, Gatto Plating, Secure Controls, Brewster Machining, Chris Jacobs' team of Century 21 Circle, Applied Mechanical, MS Consulting, DSP Insurance, Humane Indiana, and so many more. We really appreciate your support. But as I said, we're just a little bit short, and we're hoping, of course, to meet our goals as we do every year as part of this national effort by Food for the Poor in America to help people in the developing world survive. For more on this and where things are at and how you can help and what you can do, pleased to be joined by Daniel Patino from Food for the Poor. Daniel, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Dan, thanks for having me back.
All right, so I gave sort of a little bit of a status update. Give us a status update of how things are going with the resources that have been generated so far in the holiday season and the beginning of the year.
Well, here's where we are. We're 130 children away from our goal. That's a one-time gift of $10,000 if that's something that you can do and your heart opens up to that. But I'm not expecting you to run off the road if you just listen to that. But if you can help 2 children right now, that's a one-time gift of $150. And that feeds those 2 children for an entire year. That's about 2 meals a day for a child that doesn't know where their next meal is coming from. And at the same time, you're also giving them access to safe water that's not coming from a watering hole, water that's actually going to rehydrate them. Remember, these children are coming from vulnerable homes, places that have to go to a local garbage dump just to get either a plastic bottle or something the likes to go ahead and change that for just a couple cents and maybe enough to feed them for the day. But that voice that you just heard there, that's a mom we met in Guatemala. And the thing that gets me every time is that she's not asking for much. She's not asking for a house or a car or a new life. She's asking for a way to feed her kid today and water that's not going to make them sick from the local watering hole. And we can give her that. We're right here for her, and we just need to close this quick gap.
And just to refresh our recollection, in terms of the people in the various countries being helped. Particularly this season, I know Jamaica was a focus after that devastating hurricane they suffered.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes. Food for the Poor, it's actually celebrating its 44th year of helping these families in Latin America and the Caribbean, in 15 countries to be exact. And Jamaica was our founding country. That's where we started this journey way back when, and we still do to this day. So even when a hurricane hits any of these countries that we serve, we already have what is help in place. We just need to react as soon as these pretty much these hurricanes are already on the map, or you see them on TV. We already have all these things in place. And what happens after the storm? What happens to these families once those storms are already out of the media? What happens when those storms are already out of the way? Well, we could still step in with the help. And that's why we're talking about today that if there is still food, there is still water that we can give these families even after these storms pass. Because I live down here in South Florida, and when the storm hits, we practically already have a safety net, which is the shops open up with a couple more things. Some of the gas stations they'll provide some help for you. But what happened in these countries in Latin America when there is no safety net? Some of the folks that we serve are about 3 hours, 4 hours away from the city from help in a rural town that doesn't show up on a map. But food for the poor does get there, and that's why again, this is where we're asking you where how can you help? How many children can you help today? Right now, like I said, $150 buys food and clean water for 2 kids. Not helps with, it provides, it directly gets that help there. And $300 does that for 4 kids. And that's the math. It's not complicated, folks. It's just arithmetic. And right now, we need about 67 people to give $150 each. Now, I'm not telling you to do any math, but that's why I keep saying that number because we're just right there. And this is not a mountain or something that we can't get over. It's a very climbable hill. So once again, you can log on to 560theanswer.com. There's a blue give life banner there for food for the poor. Click on that banner, and it takes just about 2 minutes to save a life. You are saving a life. This is that one little push these families need to transform their lives and break that cycle of poverty. That's what we like to do here at Food for the Poor.
Right, and the business benefactor program is $2,500 donation, tax deductible. We at AM 560 give you 40 1-minute commercials to run on airwaves during broadcast hours, and you can enroll in that program like so many of those businesses I mentioned. Well, all the businesses I mentioned, and so many more businesses by going to the website as well, 560answer.com/food for the poor. Just Daniel, again, for the purposes of resetting, refreshing our recollection, because we haven't spoken with Food for the Poor in a little bit. I know, a 5-star charity navigator, more than 90 cents of every dollar goes to the actual clients here, so very low overhead, which is great. But just explain to people how you do what basically no other NGO can do. You described areas that are devastated, difficult to reach, unstable governments like Haiti, and yet you still are able to get food and water to people in dire straits.
Well, we have vetted partners on the ground. Food for the Poor serves in these countries with community leaders, pastors, people who know these families throughout the generations that are living there. So we just don't go in, drop some type of help, and then we leave. No, that's not how this works. We actually empower the folks that are already on the ground, and they know the dire need more than we do from our headquarters here in the States. So that's what we're trying to get to today. Here's what happens if we don't get to that goal here on the weekend. Our partners on the ground, they already have the trucks loaded. Water projects are ready. Food supplies is there. They're just waiting on us. And if we don't deliver that funding, those trucks don't roll, those wells don't get dug, and those kids just have to keep walking hours for water and go to the local garbage dumps just for their food. And that's the part that I don't want to tell the partners, right? We almost got there. We almost made it, but we couldn't finish. Well, almost doesn't feed a child, Dan. And close doesn't really hydrate a family. And the only thing that works is delivery, and delivery requires us to finish this. So, like you mentioned, Saturday night is the door closes. This is when this campaign ends. But there's still a chance to give if you can't. But this is when it really comes to an end. We that funded so far. We can get the stuff delivered, but we need to reach that one more child, that one more family, and we just don't want to leave this on the table. And that's just the truth there. And again, if you have a chance to log on to 560theanswer.com, click on that blue Give Life banner. You are giving life to a child right now that doesn't know where their next meal is coming from. And if you'd like to speak to somebody on the phone, how we usually, I call it the old school way, well, 844-862 4673 844-862-4673. And if I said that too quick, well, once again, you can log on to 560theanswer.com, and the number is going to be right on top of the page.
Yeah, and for the business benefactor program, I should have mentioned, you call our general manager directly. His name is John Gallagher, 847-472-8950 is his number. John Gallagher at 847-472-8950 to join those other enlightened businesses that I mentioned, part of the Food for the Poor program. And one other thing, Danny, too, I just wanted to emphasize, I sort of said at the outset, but, this is not just a Chicagoland thing. This is a national campaign, and it's, markets like ours that are just doing our part as part of this larger national campaign to provide this international relief.
It sure is. I mean, the more the people that can help families, or just I'm a dad myself of two, and we've spoken to mothers and fathers that basically told us we have to put the children to bed with a little bit of food in their belly, and whatever's left we can have. But that's not enough to feed a whole family for an entire year, and that's the help that we're providing here right now. And what the families go through is something that basically we're trying to stop here at Food for the Poor. We're trying to put ourselves out of work, Dan. That's the idea. If it comes to a day where poverty is relief, then we're out of a job, and I think I'd be happy of that. But for right now, this is a climbable hill. What we're trying to do. So we're just about over a little bit of 100 kids left on the table to help. So here's what I need. I need that person who's listening, who's been thinking about it, who's maybe even said to themselves, I should do that. I need to stop thinking and just do it. So you don't need more information. You've heard the mother's voice there, and you know that $150, one-time gift of $150 can do. So you know also that this Saturday is the deadline. Now, it's up to you, and here's how simple I can make it. You can pick up the phone and call 844-862-4673, and you can tell them, I'm closing the gap. I'm closing the gap. Or you could go to 560theanswer.com and click on that banner. It takes less than 2 minutes. So it can be a one-time gift of $150, $300 if that's your number, and $1,000 if that's your number. That feeds 13 kids, and there's a special match still going on right now. So that $1,000 doubles in impact. So again, whatever works for you, whatever feels right, don't wait till Saturday. Just wish you can do it today.
Great. Daniel Patino, Food for the Poor. Daniel, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Dan, I appreciate you. Seriously, thank you for having our back here. And here's the thing, Saturday night, this is the end. So that mom is still going to be there. Her kids are still going to be hungry, and that water walk is still going to be hours a day. So again, you have the number, you have the text line, you have the website, and we have a couple days to do it. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank you for your great support this past year. They want to make 2026 the best year ever. So to thank you, they are giving you free shipping on your entire order and wholesale pricing. So they are bringing back the